Hello my ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody is doing okay. It's Tuesday and I'm back with a walkthrough of a tarot deck today. So for the last 2 days we've looked at Matt Hughes's deck, Mother Mort's Carnival of Souls and Gallahorn, and beautiful, both beautiful. And I'm continuing with going through the decks that Cheryl sent very kindly from the Oneness Emporium for our Spotlight series, which, if you haven't seen it yet, is up on my channel from Saturday. And today we're going to be looking at Old Style Tarot, which is created by Alexander Ray. And I was very excited about receiving this deck because I loved the artwork that I saw. I did mention on Saturday actually that it reminds me a lot of this deck, which is beautiful. And lots of people in the community were saying that it's an AI deck. People on Saturday were saying actually it's a curated deck. But whatever it is, I love it, and I'm not a fan of AI and I don't support AI, but the company themselves have come out and said it's not an AI deck in its entirety. You know, they put it through a program, but it's original artwork, so you have to take them at their word. But I did find that the art style was very similar, and because I love working with this deck and using it, I thought, well, actually, let's give this a go. So when Cheryl said she was sending it, I was over the moon. So you can see it's by US Games. They've got their address there. It's a nice 2-part matte finish box. I do like this new design to make it easier to get to pull the box apart. But on the back it says this charming 79 card deck, which means you can use the significator if you want. But I think they've changed just one of the cards. It gives you 2 options, and it was quite random. But anyway, this charming 79 card deck pays homage to classic European tarot traditions with appealing vintage style illustrations that highlight clear tarot symbolism. Designed to be a working deck, I'm not quite sure of a tarot deck that's not designed to be a working deck, but there you go. Old Style Tarot appeals to both beginners and those who read intuitively. An extra blank card can be used. That's the extra card. It's one of the others that has a random card. So a blank card is perfect, in my opinion, as a significator for further exploration or query. So you can put a message on there if you wanted. You could overlay an image. I just think that would stick out in the pack, but you know, I've seen people draw things on them or write some keywords on blank cards. But for me, I would use that as a significator, as I said. The 104-page illustrated guidebook offers upright and reversed meanings, along with advice, warnings, and quick answers for insightful readings. So let's take a look. So we've got this kind of dark green on the inside. It's pretty sturdy. This is the book, as you can see here, Old Style Tarot, created by Alexander Ray. It says copyright 2022. Not quite sure why, because it is a new deck. But anyway, and then it talks about, you know, his kind of inspiration, why he's created the deck. He talks about from the time I was a teenager, I dreamed of creating my own tarot deck and was fascinated and inspired by the depth and monumental scale of this great mantic system. So talks about his experience there. And then you've got an introduction, which is about using the tarot, how to read the cards, the structure of tarot. So it talks about the difference between the major arcana and the minor arcana. And then how to ask a question. Always a helpful bit, actually, because it might sound daft to those of us who've been reading for a while, but very often when I've talked to people who are just starting out, they're like, I never know what to ask. The right way, the wrong way. Let's just have a look at this, because I always get a bit twitchy when people say things are wrong way. I find it very gatekeeperish, but let's have a look. Do not ask the cards to answer a question that requires a simple yes or no answer. Don't agree. Don't agree at all. I think the cards can give you yes or no answers. And actually, I've got a book, and I've actually seen a beginner's deck that has these cards are yes or no. But I've got a book that I think it's called the Tarot Oracle or something like that, which you can look up the card that you've pulled and it will tell you if it's a yes, no, or maybe answer. Make a choice for you. Answer the same question over and over again during one reading. I get that, you know, and I find that frustrating as a reader where people ask the same questions. I'm not sure who would ask the same question over and over again during one reading, unless you just think, I just don't like that answer, so I'm going to keep asking, which, yeah, I wouldn't advise that. But again, at the end of the day, you do you. Whatever connects you to a deck, that's what's important. So for the cards, you get the number and title, an upright meaning, cards advice, reversed, and then the warning. So I suppose that's also like a shadow aspect. And it's the same for the minors, so they're not skimping at all. This is a subsection for notes. So you get 100 pages and then a few extra pages for notes as well. The card backs are gorgeous. Just look at them. I love them. And they are really, really vintage. One of the things I love about this tarot that I mentioned is the backs, also really gorgeous. They kind of remind me of vintage wallpaper, those ones, but these are nice too. Now, they're not gilded or anything, but US Games cardstock is one of my favourite cardstocks. It's got that waxy kind of feel, really, really nice quality. Very easy to slide and move around, but without being too slippy. They come in this nice little tray, which has a gold ribbon to lift them out. In terms of card size, they are bigger, just a hair bigger, but they're wider, so they're a decent size. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this round, and then I'm going to pull the camera down and we'll have a look at the cards more closely. Okay, so you can see the backs really clearly there. Look how lovely they are. Obviously not reversible. The only thing that makes it not reversible, no, strike that, the flowers are different, is the eye, because you can see the top of the eye and the bottom of the eye, but the flowers aren't mirrored. They're close, but this has a pink and blue, and then like a white and blue, so you will know just by the eye alone if it's upside down or not. I don't read reversals, so that's not a deal breaker in the slightest for me. It's a chunky deck because the cardstock is really nice. As you'll see, we've got the blank card, so you can write on it if you wanted to. Once you've written on that though, that's it forever, isn't it? So you can kind of just decide at the beginning of the reading what you want your blank card to signify in that reading. But for me, I would use this as a significator. If you're watching this and you don't know much about tarot, or you're just starting out, a significator card is something that represents you as the querent. Excuse me. So you can also call it the querent card. So I would shuffle this in somewhere in the deck, and then as I'm going through the deck and I get to the blank card, I'll see what's on top and what's underneath. So it would be, you know, my message that I need to focus on, but also what I need to be mindful of that might not be as obvious. So what's either side of my significator card. So that's the blank card. Use it however you want to use it. All right, let's have a look at some of these beautiful illustrations. Just look how gorgeous this is. So you'll see there is a border, but it's not a hard border, and you can, you know, the image kind of doesn't even acknowledge the border, but it's quite ornate. I quite like it. You may as well say that these are borderless, really. And then we have this scroll at the bottom, which houses the text, the font, the title of the card, and then the number at the top there. I think the colour palette is really nice, but it's quite muted because it's replicating a vintage deck. I love the little Jester's doll, which is like on a stick. You know, you imagine him rattling that and the head having some little dried peas in or something to make a rattle sound. But we've got the dog there and he's about to step off. Very kind of traditional RWS type full card. Here we have our magician. Look at the smoke that's coming from what he's conjuring up there. Again, it's just beautiful, the detailing. The line work is exceptional as well. The use of colour and shading is really nice. Our High Priestess. Quite a traditional High Priestess there. Empress, what a beautiful card. Look at that. That's stunning. Our Emperor, very traditional Emperor card. The Hierophant. Interesting, this archway that is in here. We've got the cross keys appearing on the shield there at the top of his staff. The Lovers is beautiful. Again, they're within this frame, but it's going outside these borders. And look, he's holding the apple here. The serpent here is wrapped around her. Chariot, love the colours. The purples in this deck is stunning. And we've got 3 Sphinxes, which is very interesting. Strength card is one of my favourites. Love this. What a beautiful card. Our Hermit. I think Cheryl made reference to the fact that there's a clear view of his face, even though it's side profile. Very often the Hermit's face is hidden by the hood. Wheel of Fortune. I mean, look at this. This just goes completely outside. It's like it would continue off the card, but I like it. The Hanged Man. Death. I love the perspective here of the death on the horse, the death figure on the horse coming towards you. We often see him sideways on, going in either left or right, but it's really face on. Temperance. The Devil. Actually looks like we have 2 males. They're kind of like, I wonder if these are like fallen angels as well. We've got these angel wings here, and it looks like they're fighting. Look how the devil's got one leg up. The Tower. Wonderful. We've got these little cherubs, look, falling. Like they're actually falling from the heavens rather than the tower itself. Star. Isn't it exquisite? It's really, I mean, look at this. Look at this image. Wow. the sun, beautiful. Oh, this is everything I love in a deck. This, guys, is, you know, AI can't replicate this. I mean, it probably could replicate this, but it can't replicate this. Artists' work, you know, you can just see every kind of stroke or pencil line, or it's just, this is what we need. This is what we need our decks to be. Beautiful pieces of art that creative people have designed. So then we go into our minors, and we're in the wands. Very RWS. So if you're used to reading RWS, then this isn't going to be a stretch at all. A few differences, but more about you know, different perspectives. So we actually see the person here. I love this Eight of Wands as well. This kind of what's the name of the, can't think, in the, is it the Sistine Chapel? I forgot it's Leonardo da Vinci, but there's a very well-known, it's not the hand of God, but that, you know, that spark with the fingers, it reminds me of that. Somebody will leave me a comment, I'm sure, as to what that piece of artwork's called. This has got a really nice smell. I can, even from this distance, I could smell the new deck smell. Oh, is there anything nicer? Here's our Two of Cups. Look how beautiful that cherub is. Ah, oh, stunning. Four of Cups. Love the Five of Cups. The detail in this artwork is wonderful. Six. That has a Solar Booster vibe for me. The Eight. Look how pretty that card is. That's like something you see in a storybook, isn't it? Page of Cups. Love the water here. You get the fish again. The owl. And then we have our swords. Oh, look at that. What a fantastic image. Two of Swords is my favourite sword card. I love it. Now that's quite a powerful image as well, isn't it? I showed this card on Saturday because, yeah, it's like the standing guard over. It reminds me of when the late Queen Elizabeth passed away a couple of years ago, and there was guard in her coffin when she lay in state. Seven, little fox. Wow. Again, this is about the mind. This is about the imagination, that feeling of helplessness, feeling of being trapped, feeling that there's no way out of a situation. But how dire, you know, this is obviously conjured up in the mind. The Nine. Love that image. the 10. I love this deck. I can see myself using this a lot and reading for others with it as well. It's just got such a, it feels like it's a deck from a bygone time. It really does, and I know that's the intention, but they've pulled it off. They really have. The 5 of Pentacles, look at the ripped clothes. Looks like he's actually asking for help. Gorgeous. Look how luscious this Queen of Pentacles is. Beautiful. And then we have the King. I love it. Absolutely love this deck. I knew I would. I said to Cheryl, it's the one I'm most excited for. There's some wonderful decks for us to go through over the next week or so. But yeah, this one in particular, I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. Let me know if you have it. I know it's not been out long. How long have you been working with it? What's your experiences of using it? Is it a deck that you, if you don't have, that you'll think will add something to your collection? Let me know your thoughts. And until tomorrow, I think tomorrow, it'll be Thursday, sorry. Tomorrow I have a class in the evening. So I'll be back on Thursday, and I think we'll look at the Black Violet Tarot. We'll take a look at that one on Thursday. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste, and blessed be.